making a white bean soup, and I always like to add a little sausage in any vegetable soup. So I've got that frying, and then we just add some shallots, garlic. Oh, he's making the ingredient list for us. Carrots and celery, and then I made some bone broth last night to go into. I'm doubling the recipe, so I pressure cook the beans instead of using canned. It's way more affordable and worth the extra step when I need a lot. I completely forgot to soak them the night before, oops, but they turned out just fine by pressure cooking them a little longer. As fall settles in, I love making big, hearty pots of soup that stretch across a few meals. They're usually simple to make and fill the house with the best smells, and the leftovers always taste even better the next day. Chopped up carrots and celery get tossed in with the shallots and garlic and a generous dash of salt and pepper. Let them saute for around 7 to 10 minutes. This step is so important for building flavor in the soup. Then went in a bunch of nourishing bone broth and potatoes, which I added to the recipe. That all simmers for about 15 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. The white beans get added back in, and a few cups are taken out to blend. This step gives the soup a really rich, creamy texture without any milk or dairy. Such a simple trick that it makes a big difference. Next time I'm going to skip the spinach, as the kids weren't the biggest fan. They just focused too much on picking it out. Overall though, a cozy, nourishing bowl of soup, perfect for a crisp, almost fall evening. Now, I love getting my kids involved in almost every home activity, but do hold a little bit of decorating just for myself. There's something so calm and refreshing about it, bringing in all those new colors and items of a new season. When I was almost finished decorating, my son woke up so full of excitement at the new stuff. He started asking a million questions like, what's fall? When does Halloween start? Are we getting the spooky stuff? Moments like that make it so worth it. And while seasonal decorating can get out of hand in our culture, I find so much value in it, especially in the fall and winter seasons when we are inside a lot. It's a simple way to transform a space, making it feel even warmer, cozier, and more inviting. I always like to keep it simple and intentional by building on what I already have, tucking a bit of orange or plum into some existing neutral florals that live in the space year around. Just a small shift can reflect the season without a total overhaul. It keeps costs down, it leverages what I already own, and it means I only need one box of fall and Halloween decor stored in the attic. In my notes on my phone, I have a list of recipes I like to use. But since I use my phone for filming now, I need to find a better option for recipes. So I got this book for all the recipes that I love. It's got some nice folders, and they go in these nice holders so your recipe cards don't get dirty, which I like. And I love writing recipes down anyway, because when I write it down, I kind of remember it, and it's just so nice to look back at something written. I actually really condense what I need to do and exactly how I need to do it, and so I like writing it out, and it helps me memorize it. I'm hoping this will be a nice solution. How cute is this? We love this apple pie recipe. It's so delicious, nourishing, not too sweet, and perfect with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. Cutting those apples is pretty laborious, but had a little helper and it was a nice time together. The apple slices, sugar, flour, lemon juice, cinnamon, allspice, and nutmeg all get mixed together and then heated over a low heat. The recipe does say medium heat, but I found it tends to burn. This step is definitely optional, but it makes for a juicier, more flavorful filling, so I don't skip it. Yummy apple dance. I already had mixed the pie crust before, as it needs to sit in the fridge for at least 2 hours, and substituted in half whole wheat flour to make it a little bit better for us, and the kids could not tell at all. If the pie crust gets a little thin here, just fill it in with some extra pieces while fluting and pinch it all together to make it look nice again. The crust does tend to get a little warm and harder to work with, so move as fast as you can. It sits in the fridge until ready to bake, as that helps with the lattice keeping its shape, and I really like it warm after our meal. It's the perfect fall treat that is still somewhat healthy for us all. A new little activity I'm trying this fall is drying my herbs. We still have quite a lot in the garden, and I'm starting to see them fade with the cooler weather, and dried herbs are just so expensive, so it makes sense to save what I can. I'm air drying them by tying small bunches and hanging them upside down in a warm, dark, well-ventilated closet. I loosely covered them with a grocery bag to keep the dust off, and now it's just a waiting game. It should take anywhere from a few days to a week. We'll see how it goes. I really wish I had a dehydrator for this, but I'm hoping this simple method works. I tend to use a lot of dried fruit in the winter for simmer pots and decorations, so a dehydrator might be a good investment. If anyone knows of a favorite they love, please drop your recommendations in the comments. One of my go-to easy meals during the colder months is a pot roast. It's easy, hearty, and so comforting. This one's done in the slow cooker, which is pretty hands-off, and the meat turns out incredibly tender. I'm using a 3-pound beef chuck roast that's cut into smaller pieces. I really prefer this over stew meat. It just turns out so much better. I sear the pieces quickly in a hot pan, then transfer to the slow cooker with a generous amount of chopped vegetables, garlic, beef broth, balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, tomato paste, and a splash of red wine. I usually throw it all together around lunchtime and let it slow cook until dinner, and then just before serving I boil some egg noodles and thicken the sauce with flour. It turns into the most delicious, rich, gravy-like sauce. The result is a warm, filling meal that easily feeds us for 2 nights. With dinner simmering away, I had time to make one of my favorite fall treats, sourdough pumpkin muffins. There's something so satisfying about baking when the kitchen already smells like a cozy meal. You could always substitute honey or maple syrup or for the sugar to make them a bit more healthy, and I usually do either half or 3/4 of whatever the sugar is in most recipes. I just find it's not necessary. I like to keep our muffins on the smaller size, just enough for a snack. I don't really want to waste them, especially with small kids eating them a lot. So I always pour the extra batter into these mini muffin tins, which makes the perfect size for my youngest. The mini muffins baked a bit quicker, usually around 5 minutes less than the regular ones, so I keep a close eye on them. They're slightly sweet, full of fall spice, and the sourdough starter gives them just a bit of tang. So good with a little butter, drizzle of honey, or of course our favorite vanilla ice cream. I always freeze half for later too. Glad you followed along for a few cozy fall days at home. If you're enjoying these moments and meals, don't forget to like and subscribe.